I appreciate it.
All right. So why do you want that everybody has a tribe? Can you explain?
Well, I don't want everyone to have a tribe. I only want people who want the world to change to have a tribe. I only want people who have something to say, to make a change, to make things better. And what's happened is the world is lined up in a way now that instead of having to have power or cash, you can make change and have influence merely by leading people who want to go somewhere. And I'm calling your bluff and saying if it's really important to you that the world have a better food or people have better jobs or something else changes, go, do it. There's nothing stopping you anymore.
And it doesn't have to be a mass media, right? It can be a few hundred people, a few thousand people. You said 1,000, right?
Well, there's the issue of scale. Very few things need to be everyone. So Nabisco and Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they need everyone. They're not tribes. But real change comes from small groups of people, true believers, who get you the next group of people. So it only took 1,000 people to be committed to make the Grateful Dead the Grateful Dead. It only took 1,000 people to be committed to make Al Gore Al Gore. Because those 1,000 people get you 1,000 people. Now you have 1 million. Do that one more time. There you go.
What's the best way to do it? Because you had a blog post actually recently where you started yelling at everybody using email too much. Like if you give your email address to someone, you know, like don't spam me. It should be permission marketing, right? It should be someone accepting it. So what's the best way? Is email still good? You're sending emails every day with your blog, right?
It's very important. Anticipated, personal, and relevant. So just because it's important to you that I see your press release doesn't mean it's important to me. And even though it costs you nothing to send it to me, doesn't mean you have the right to do so. And my argument is the issue is not that it's difficult to get your word out. The thing that's difficult is get people to care. The thing that's difficult is get people to listen. The answer is not get your word out more. The answer is change what you're talking about. So, you know, we see a simple example like Gmail, Google Mail. You couldn't even get in without an invitation. And people were clamoring to join. They didn't have to spam anybody. They didn't have to yell about it. So you can make a product, a technology product, a social product, a thing to buy that people will want, that you won't have to spam.
You think it's important that people want it? Like you were lecturing this guy from the Apter, I don't know, with his free will car yesterday. That he was like all about like so much of a sales guy. He was like, and this is the feature and so on. You said no, you're wrong. You shouldn't say that. You should tell that only 5,000 people can get it, right? And everybody would beg to get it.
Well, see, engineers think they can solve a problem, and so they set out to solve a problem. They say, okay, here are all the features. You should switch. But if we look at what succeeds, it's never the one with the most features for the money. The iPod does not have the most features for the money compared to something from Creative that costs 1/10 as much. That's not why people buy it. People buy it because of the story, because of the way it makes them feel. So the guys at Aptera who have a cool little car, they're only going to sell 5,000 in the first year anyway. So rather than saying to everyone in the world, everyone should buy this because it's best, they should just say, no, there's only 5,000 of them. It's not for everyone. If you're one of the people it's for, we'd love to hear from you. And that's how you build a cult or a movement, not by saying everyone must buy this, even though we only have a few.
So you should inspire them and like give a mission. Is that the way you advise? You're coming back to the tools. So if it's not email, forget about email. But like it's not about the tools really. It's not about blog posts. It's about what inspiration. It's about the purple cows.
Yeah. So a purple cow is something worth talking about, something remarkable. If person A tells person B about something, it is remarkable, and that discussion didn't cost you money, right? But it's spread. It goes past all the spam filters. It moves through the net very quickly. It moves through society very quickly. So what's the hard part? The hard part is to make something people choose to talk about. So the little web conference, people choose to talk about it. You don't have to spend any money to let them know it exists.
In fact, we don't do any marketing because otherwise boring people show up.
Yeah, that's right. You want people who are in the network, who have already heard about it, to want to come. But if your conference was boring, no one would come. No one would talk about it. So you spent all your time and money not spamming people about a boring conference. You spent it making a better conference. And so that's the big transition we're facing, is we have to get away from saying this is a factory that makes average stuff for average people at a good price, and say, no, this is a small cadre of committed people who are going to make something that matters, that's worth talking about.
So small and committed is better. Now, it's not easy to find something remarkable that people talk about. How do you do that every day, right? It's difficult. Generally, we're boring by default, right?
Well, if you look at the things we've managed to build, you know, the buildings and the cars and the planes, we can do things that are difficult. If we set out to make things that are remarkable, we will. Right? So, you know, the nice guys at Nokia made phones for a really long time. But what they didn't make, I'm dragging in my pocket here, they didn't make this.
Right.
Why didn't they make this? There's nothing that Apple knew how to do that Nokia didn't know how to do. Except Nokia was trying to make average phones for average people. Nokia was focused on how do we make a $99 phone or a free phone? How do we make a phone that most people will like? And Apple said, how do we make a phone almost no one will like, but a few people will love? A few people will stay up all night and wait in line for it. And because they tried to do that, they succeeded.
You're saying in your book that, like, I think I remember that, like, everyone can be a leader, right?
What I'm saying is there's no test you have to pass. No one's in charge of giving you, you know, a permit or a license. And that's really hard for people to get over, because in school you weren't allowed to stand up and teach the class, and at your job you're not allowed to stand up and tell the boss what to do. But all of a sudden, if you care about something, you can stand up and lead. That's mind-blowing. You know, that formerly homeless people, I know two, formerly homeless people who are now on the web leading hundreds or thousands of people making a living at it.
How do they make a living out of a tribe?
Well, it can get you elected president of the United States, right? That was a tribal thing. Shepard Fairey, the artist who did the Obama poster, okay? How much money did he make from that poster?
I don't know.
Nothing. Right? He gave the poster away to everyone to help with the movement. How much does his art cost now if you want to buy one of his paintings? Right? The fact is, he needed his 1,000 true fans, 1,000 people who will cross the street, who will buy an original piece of art, who will, you know, be a patron. 1,000 people who will blog post about his next work of art. 1,000 people who will go to the gallery. Well, Shepard got there by helping a movement be created. That if we look at somebody who wants to start a startup company, well, one way to do it is to sort of barrel your way in. Another way is to find that circle of 1,000 users who so desperately need your product, like 37 Signals. 37 Signals does not make software for everyone. They made Basecamp for 1,000 people who cared.
With high support and high service.
Exactly, and if those 1,000 people are so committed, they'll each bring you 1,000 customers, then they win. Being the best in the world at something is extremely valuable. Being fifth best is not very valuable.
Wait, hold on. Why? I love that sentence from you. You want to do anything you do, you have to be the best in the world. Like, you can't stand for something, you know, which is crap, right, or average.
Yeah, well, you went out to buy a video camera, right? You could have bought any $2,000 video camera you wanted. So the world was $2,000 video cameras. Which one are you going to buy? The best $2,000 video camera or the fifth best $2,000 video camera? The best one, right?
The simplest.
Well, but that in any category. You want a bakery, you go to Poulain. You go to Rue de Chauche-Medi for the bread, right, from Poulain, because it's the best.
Right.
You're not going to stop one block away for a third best one. You're going to bake the best. So the world doesn't mean the whole world. It just means your world right now. So I am the best in the world at being me. I am the best in the world at having a marketing blog, at least today. Not forever. I'm the best in the world at writing the kind of book I write. I picked my thing, and I'm good at that. And I enjoy being good at it, and I try to get better at it. But if I said, oh no, I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this, and I know how to bake, and I can do this, and I can do this, all of a sudden, I'm a wandering generality instead of a meaningful specific. And so my message to people is, if you want to be the best in the world at using Twitter to talk about Olympic decathlon, go, do that. But don't tell me that I have to go be mediocre at it just because you want to tweet with me. I'm really accessible. When people write me email, I write back. Every single person in the world who's ever written me an email, I write back.
Wow.
Because I like
How many do you get every day?
Hundreds and hundreds. And
you reply to all of them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I like non-anonymous, direct, private communication. It works for me. It doesn't work for me to have anonymous people yelling at me. I'm just not interested. So I'm hearing from people. I'm interacting. I'm learning from them. I am not saying I'm not interested in what these people have to say. All I'm saying is, I have no staff. I am who I am. I'm not telling you how to do what you do. Let me do my thing.
Well, keep doing it, Seth. Thank you so much for this time.
It.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. Thanks.